I will tell this story the way I remember it, the way it stayed with me, because I was there from the beginning, and I saw how one small act of kindness slowly changed a man who once thought money was everything. I saw Stan again on a rainy evening, standing by the roadside with his expensive shoes soaked in mud, his jacket pulled tight around him, his face empty of pride. Cars rushed past him, splashing dirty water onto the road, but none stopped. He looked small then, almost invisible. If I had not known him before, I would have thought he was just another man in trouble. But I knew who he was, and as I watched him that evening, my mind went back to the first day I ever saw him meet Sarah. That day had been hot, the kind of heat that makes people impatient and sharp with words. I was waiting at the bus stop near the market, standing under a weak shade, when I noticed Sarah. She came there almost every day. A poor, middle-aged woman with strong shoulders and slow steps. She hawked oranges, always neatly arranged on a tray she balanced on her head. Her clothes were simple, faded by many washes, but clean. Her face carried lines from years of sun and worry, yet her eyes were kind. She greeted people softly as they passed. Some answered, many did not. She never complained. That was when Stan arrived. He stood out like a bright signboard. Clean shoes, fine suit, a wristwatch that probably cost more than Sarah's entire tray of oranges. He was talking loudly on his phone, laughing, boasting, dropping names of places and people I had never heard of. When he ended the call, he noticed Sarah. He asked for the price of the oranges. Sarah told him calmly. Stan laughed, not a friendly laugh, a sharp one. He shook his head and said the price was too much. He offered her an amount so low that even I felt insulted, and I was only listening. Sarah politely refused. She explained that the price was fair, that she needed to make a small profit to survive. Stan's face changed. He said poor people were never satisfied. He said she should be grateful that someone like him even stopped to talk to her. He waved his hand as if brushing away dust and walked off. I watched Sarah. She stood quietly, adjusting her tray. Her face did not change much, but I could see the sadness in her eyes. I followed Stan without meaning to. Maybe curiosity, maybe anger. He walked into a big supermarket down the road. I stood outside, looking through the glass. Inside, Stan picked up oranges that were packed in net bags. He did not ask for the price. He paid more than what Sarah had asked for and even tipped the cashier. That moment stayed with me, the unfairness of it. How pride can blind a person. Life moved on. Weeks passed. Months passed. I almost forgot about Stan, but I never forgot Sarah. She was still there every day, selling her oranges, greeting people with the same calm voice. Then came the rain. It was heavy, sudden, and cold. I was walking home when I saw a car stop by the roadside, hazard lights blinking weakly. A man stood beside it, looking around helplessly. As I got closer, I recognized him. It was Stan. His car had broken down. His phone battery was dead. His fine clothes were wet. His confidence was gone. He kept checking his watch, pacing like a trapped animal. Then Sarah appeared from the other side of the road. Her tray of oranges was covered with nylon. She walked slowly, carefully. Stan looked at her like she was his last hope. He asked if she could help him make a call. He did not recognize her. Sarah looked at him closely. I knew she recognized him immediately. I held my breath, waiting to see what she would do. She said nothing about the past. She handed him her phone. She waited with him. She stood in the rain beside him like they were equals. When she saw him shaking, she took an orange from her tray and gave it to him. She did not ask for money. That moment broke something inside Stan. I could see it in his eyes. When help finally came, he thanked her, apologized, and stood there silently for a long time after she left. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. From that day, Stan changed. Not suddenly, not loudly. Change like his came slowly, like water sinking into dry ground. A few days later, I saw him again. This time, he was standing at the same bus stop where Sarah sold her oranges. He was not in a suit. He wore simple clothes. He waited quietly. When Sarah arrived, he greeted her respectfully. He bought oranges from her at her full price. He paid extra, but not in a proud way. He told her to keep the change. He asked her how she was doing. He listened. Sarah was surprised but polite. She thanked him and moved on. Stan came again the next day, and the next. Sometimes he bought oranges. Sometimes he just greeted her. Slowly, they began to talk. I was often nearby, pretending not to listen, but I heard enough. Stan told her about his life, how he had chased money, how he thought wealth meant worth, how he was always in a hurry, always looking down on people. He told her how helpless he felt that rainy evening, and how her kindness had made him feel ashamed. Sarah listened. She did not judge. She did not praise herself. She only said that helping someone in need was normal, that one day, everyone becomes weak. That sentence changed Stan deeply. Weeks later, I noticed something else. Stan had started using his money differently. He helped Sarah in quiet ways. He found a small shop space near the market and paid the rent for 6 months. He did not put his name on it. He only told the landlord it was for a woman selling fruits. He helped Sarah buy a small table and an umbrella so she no longer had to balance the tray on her head all day. When Sarah found out, she cried. Not loud tears, silent ones. Stan also helped other hawkers. He spoke to them with respect. He listened to their stories. He stopped going to the supermarket for things he could buy from the street. He said it felt more human. But the biggest change was not in what he gave. It was in how he behaved. He stopped boasting. He stopped talking down to people. He learned names. He learned to wait. He learned to say thank you and mean it. One evening, months later, I sat with him at the bus stop. He told me that Sarah's kindness saved him in more ways than one. He said that day on the road showed him how empty his wealth was without humility. He said pride had made him poor inside. Sarah never asked for anything. She only continued being herself. Strong, calm, kind. Today, Sarah's fruit shop is doing well. Not because she became rich, but because she was respected. Stan still visits. He still buys oranges. Sometimes he helps others the way Sarah helped him, quietly, without expecting praise. And I, the one who watched it all, learned something too. Kindness does not shout. It does not demand. It waits. And when pride finally falls, kindness is what lifts a person back up. That is how one orange, freely given on a rainy evening, changed a man who once thought money was everything.